that Johnson & Johnson's vaccine does win EUA, which we all expect. How do you think it's going to shake up the COVID-19 vaccine market in the US?
Yeah, I mean, so it's a single dose and it only has to be refrigerated, which certainly helps their ability to make inroads in the market. They're going to get sales one way or the other because the government's already committed to buying the vaccine. In terms of where it'll get used, we won't have significant amount of dose until April, so that's going to put a lot of the doses, all the doses between now and then, or most of the doses between now and then, are going to be Moderna and Pfizer's vaccines. In terms of how much, when is it going to get used? Probably more in rural areas. I wonder how much from a person standpoint, are you just going to I want a vaccine and I don't care, or are there people that are going to want the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines over the Johnson & Johnson because it's maybe a little bit higher efficacy, but then on the other hand, maybe people are going to want the Johnson & Johnson vaccine because they only have to get one shot in the arm. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the human, in the general public's desire to get one vaccine versus the other.
Yeah, you hit on something I've been wondering too, and I wonder if the governments with state governments having influence as well, I wonder if they're going to differentiate, or will it get to a point where people have a choice between which vaccine they receive? I don't know. And let me ask you, Brian, if you had to pick, let's say they gave you the choice, Dr. Brian O'Reilly, which vaccine would you prefer to get?
And let's be clear, it's non-MD. I'm a PhD.
Still biology.
But based on my reading, I would tend to go with the higher efficacy, but I think that's slightly. I think the comparison is a little difficult because the variants are out now, and so the question is what's the variant going to be when I need to be protected? And so I think that makes things just really complicated in making a firm decision. A month or two ago, I would have picked Moderna or Pfizer. Now I feel a little less sure of it because I think it really is going to depend on the protection for the variants is going to be the main threshold for likelihood of success. The other thing I think is Johnson & Johnson is going to have a harder time coming up with boosters because of the way their vaccine is delivered. It's delivered with a virus, and so the virus, you're going to create immunity to that virus that delivers the DNA into the patient, and so I think that's a big concern. And so I think the Pfizer and Moderna have a higher chance of being able to come in with booster shots compared to Johnson & Johnson's model.
Yeah, I guess my mindset is just give me the shot. Whatever it is, give it to me. All of these vaccines, while their efficacy varies overall, all of them seem to be very effective at preventing severe cases of COVID-19. And as you mentioned earlier, the FDA briefing document even pointed out that with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, there were no cases that required medical intervention 28 days after vaccination. So I think we're seeing high efficacy across the board for these vaccines in preventing those severe types of cases. And hey, I think Americans should consider themselves very fortunate that we're going to have several vaccines available. Already have 2, we'll likely have 3, and there are more coming more than likely as well.